Hey y'all. So, it's another educational video. Yay, historical literature, whatever. So, we know fake news. But how far back can you go thinking about how fake news? Okay. I'm just Edgar Allan Poe pulled a prank on the world. You see this model right here of a hot air balloon? Yeah, the Great Balloon Hoax. So, in typical Edgar Allan Poe fashion, although he made this up, he was eerily prophetic because, as it says right here, the balloon obtained an altitude of nearly 25,000 feet, just as Poe described, when an actual balloon, or human-carrying balloon, crossed the Atlantic, the Double Eagle II, in 1978. So, this took place in 1844, so for perspective, he would die 5 years later. And this is like when I talked about last stream how he was a writer for a newspaper. So that right here, this is for when he was working with the New York Sun. And apparently, although it was completely fake, it had people crowding around the building wanting to buy a paper. So here's the thing that he wrote, I guess, the headline. Astounding news by express via Norfolk. I cannot speak. I am very sorry. Norfolk. The Atlantic crossed in 3 days. Signal triumph of Mr. Monk Mason's flying machine. Arrival at Sullivan's Island near Charlestown, South Carolina. Mr. Mason, Mr. Robert Holland, and Mr. Henson, Mr. Harrison Ainsworth, and 4 others in the MM. Sterling, Victoria, after a passage of 75 hours from land to land, full particulars of the voyage. So, I'm not going to really burden you with this whole article he wrote because it's all fucking made up. All bullshit. Every last bit of it. Bullshit. But it fooled people. Oh, what does this say about Nassau? Is this the Bahamas? No. Okay. Sorry. Fortnite! Oh, what was it? So yeah, this is some OG fake news right here, if y'all wanted to see it. But like I was saying with the eerie, prophetic nature, as kind of common with Edgar Allan Poe, you may or may not be familiar with his one and only novel, I think it's like Into the Maelstrom, or The Maelstrom? Something Maelstrom. No. I might be confusing it with something else. But regardless, he did write a story about a shipwreck, and it had a character named Richard Parker. Did that sound familiar? It should, because if you've seen Life of Pi, Richard Parker was the fucking tiger. And I read the book, and I can get onto the book in a second. But also, look, Fort Moultrie. That's local. That's why I also like this story, because, Charleston, Fort Moultrie. It's cool. But like I was saying, Richard Parker. So Poe had written this story that had one of the little crew boys, the deck boys, his name was Richard Parker. And apparently, like just a couple of decades later, an actual shipwreck happened with an actual Richard Parker on the boat. And like with all 3 stories, I think they involved cannibalism. Holy hell, I cannot speak at all. I'm just so sorry. But yeah, that's kind of par for the course. Eerie, similar. Hi. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'll probably keep this short because it's just a cool story that I wanted to tell. Poe pulled a big-ass prank on the world, and I think it's funny. And as I was saying about Life of Pi and Richard Parker and Poe in general, it's weird that these coincidences keep cycling through history, First Poe wrote about it, then it actually happened, then Life of Pi. It is a story, because it's made up. It was a article that Poe wrote. And it's fake news! Fun shit, isn't it? Okay. So, like I said, I'm also especially interested in Poe because it's very local to me. Although he was born and raised in like Virginia and then lived most of his life in the North, he was stationed in the military on Sullivan's Island, and Sullivan's Island is very close. He would be like 212, 13 or something like that. I can do the math, maybe. I'm not in the mindset to do math. Fuck that shit, actually. So, around here, especially on Sullivan's Island, like I mentioned in the story, you'll have like Goldbug Street. You have the Poe Library. You have the Poe's Tavern. No, I have not been there. Rip. Yeah. Although I really want to. I've never been to the Poe's Tavern. Ironic, I know. But I think it's really cool that not only did Poe write several stories while he was stationed here in South Carolina, but also had a couple based here. He's got that George Soros technology. What is it? Adrenochrome or something? He's like that episode of South Park where what's his face is like snapping baby fetuses and drinking. Anyway. So, that's pretty much all I really had planned for this stream. Not gonna lie. Don't know if I already told the story, but I guess I'll tell it again. Wait, I'm pretty sure I actually did tell the story. I was tripped by a ghost. Long story short, just because I wanted to, one, fill time, two, it's kind of relevant because Poe is creepy. Oh, I'll also talk about his weird death circumstances, but after this. So, I was looking at a picture of my cousin who had passed away in a car accident a few years ago. And I was walking up the stairs, and my foot was not in front of the step at all. Here's the step, here's my foot. And I felt someone just go, kick my toes, and then drop. And I knew that was his ass. Sorry. So, what was I going to say again? I completely forgot. Nah. You did remind me of my drink, though. Thank you. Oh, yeah. Poe's death. So, no one really knows how he died. I have a couple theories, which I mean, one, a lot of people think that because he was found in ill-fitting clothes, and during the time of an election, he was, how do I say this? Mugged, made to change clothes, and made to vote multiple times. And because he was already in his 40s, and this is the 1800s, so 40 is old, and he was already in poor health, he was a fucking drinker, and it was debated about his opium use, but I'm still gonna hope no, because opium is bad. So, his death, while mysterious, he was found in the gutter, incoherent. Some people think it was rabies. I don't think so, because there's no foaming at the mouth reported, at least. And where the fuck he's gonna get rabies, I don't know. But I think he was just beaten beyond all recognition. And just inevitably died in the hospital. And sad thing is, I think his last words were, "God help my poor soul," or something like that. tragic character who wrote tragic stuff, and it's all beautifully tragic. Very goth, much wow. And I believe I'll end that here. Really short, yeah, I know. I've been trying to keep them shorter, ending up getting longer streams. Rip me. So I think I'll end that here. I hope y'all learned a little something and had some fun. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.